So, you want to become a health coach. You've always been interested in health and fitness and wellness, and chances are you're the go-to friend that people reach out to when they need advice on how to improve their wellness. But you don't know where to start. You don't know if you should make it a career, what route to take. Did you go to school for this or not? You're a little bit lost on what the next step is. So in today's video, I'm here to give you the blueprint on how to become a health coach. But for today, we are going to focus on the conception of I want to become a health coach to how do I actually do it. So if you're interested in that, come join me. So I wanted to share some book resources that have been monumental in my journey of becoming a health coach, but also using them very regularly as I continue my profession in the health coaching world. Resources come from a variety of areas. Books are an incredible way to learn more, dig deeper in your health coaching practice, and feel more confident and comfortable as a health coach as you're guiding your clients to success and well-being. These are three of my favorites. These two books are books that I purchased while I was in the coaching program. So this gave me valuable guidance as I was practicing and learning the protocol, the flow of being a health coach. The first one is called Coaching Questions, and it's not too long, but it is packed full of information. It's by Tony Stoltzfus. I'll obviously link these in the show notes. This was monumental as I was practicing. Here's some of the bullet points of what this offers. The top 10 asking mistakes coaches make and how to correct each one. Nearly 1,200 examples of powerful questions from real coaching situations. That is key. The questions. Okay, so first off, I want to mention how important questions are. One thing that I think a lot of new coaches come into the job with is we feel like we have all this expertise and all this education and we just want to help and love and share that. The problem is we're not doctors, we're not nutritionists, we are specifically health coaches. Now, if you're a doctor and a nutritionist on top of it, fantastic. But chances are, if you are a health coach, your role is not to provide suggestions and advice. It's to ask guiding questions to help lead the client to their overall vision. I'm telling you, this is something that I struggled with. I thought I had so much information and knowledge to give, and not even in the sense that I know everything, but in the sense that I want to help you. I want to give you all the solutions that I have and help you on this healing journey. The problem is as you dive through the coaching experience, you're going to find that giving them the information is not going to help them in the long run. But asking powerful questions that hit at the core of who they are, that dig into their heart, that's what's going to be transformative. That's what's going to shift their mindset and move them from stuck and surviving to thriving. Number 3, Destiny Discovery Tools, organized in a 4-part life purpose model that includes passion, design, experience, and calling. It sounds like a lot of language right there. What that is the discovery sessions, the vision sessions, generally what you start a client out with to determine their overall vision, where they want to see themselves in the next 5-10 years. What it's doing is it's giving you a framework for setting up the structure of that session, but also all the following sessions. Very helpful tool. Overview of 15 popular coaching niches with tools and examples for each. That is going to be a huge thing as you dive into the coaching world, learning what your niche is. And if you have no idea right now, it's okay. Don't stress about it. I'll make a follow-up video diving into what those niches are and how to figure out what yours might be. Next is a schedule of training exercises to help you become a master of asking. It's been a really good resource for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It covers everything from niches to getting started to advanced asking skills, life coaching, the coaching process, everything you would want to know on how to become a successful health coach. The second book book is a coaching manual, and it's about the same size and again, packed with so much information. This book was actually a required book in my coaching course. It felt like it was like a personal pick. Like I absolutely loved and devoured it. There is so much support and resources. And again, you get that flow, you get the coaching structure, you get case studies, support, definitions, you get everything in here. And here are some of the chapters. Introduction, so what is coaching? Becoming a coach. Chapter 2, coaching relationship skills. So how we connect that relationship between the client and the coach and foster an environment that leads to that vulnerability and the trust and eventually growth and success. The third one is coaching present, is how do we show up for our clients every day? Number 4 is expressing compassion, celebrating our best, harnessing motivation to build self-efficiency, readiness to change, client assessment, design thinking. So that's again where we talk about the visions and where they eventually want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. Generative moments, conducting coaching sessions. That's my favorite part. And that's where I think you'll get a lot of the benefit from, is figuring out that flow and practicing it over and over again to build that confidence, and different resources on how to thrive as a coach. Highly recommend this book. Again, it's called the Coaching Psychology Manual. The third book that I actually got pretty recently, and I purchased this at Barnes & Noble, but I'm sure you can get it anywhere. So as I've gone through this coaching journey and had the opportunity to coach for so many clients, I've really noticed that CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is a big part of the coaching practice. And I just wanted to learn more. I wanted to get a deeper understanding of how our brains work and the best modality on navigating that course of here's distortions and here's unhealthy ways of thinking. How can I help somebody and guide them to a better and more fulfilling solution? So that's where this book came in handy. It's called Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, Recognize and Overcome Behaviors for a Healthier, Happier You. Love this book. I reference this all the time. I generally have this out on my desk because as I'm working with clients, I'll kind of peek at it, and it's provided so much valuable information. And I think these 3 books do a really good job. I can't hold 3 up. I think these 3 books do a really good job of covering the basics, the foundation, giving you a deeper understanding of what coaching is, how to show up, how to become a good and successful and thriving coach. Another question you might be asking yourself when looking for a coaching program is, what am I looking for? What do I need to make sure that this program offers that I know it's a valuable program and worth my time and money? One thing that's important that we've covered already is making sure that the program offers some sort of education or practice or resource on that coaching flow. So learning how to start with a client from introduction to vision setting to the actual flow of each session. That shouldn't be something that's just thrown in your hands and you got to figure it out as you go. If you are paying good money for a program, you want to make sure that they are covering a coaching flow, structure, or programming so that when it's your turn to find clients, you're set up for success. Another thing to look for is a focus on niching. Niching is really narrowing down what your focus is. So you don't want to just be a health and wellness coach. You really want to pinpoint, and I want to work with women with PCOS, men who have physical disabilities from war, youth that are struggling in school, whatever that might be. The more specific we make our audience, the better it's going to be. Think of this. If you have a very rare brain injury and only a select amount of doctors know about it and know how to perform on it, would you go to a doctor who has 200 different specialties, went to education, all these different things, might be slightly lower cost, but knows about a lot of different conditions? Or would you go to a doctor who is specific on this rare condition, who has gone through years of education and practice on this disease? They might be more expensive, but which would you rather pick? Generally, the answer is the second doctor. That doctor that it's niched down, that is very, very specific, because you trust their opinion more. You know that they've done the research and the work to figure out the best way to solve this problem. The same goes for niching down. You might originally think that you're excluding a lot of individuals, but it doesn't work that way in the long run. The more specific you can get with your clientele or audience, the better it's going to be for you. The next thing to look for is either peer-to-peer practice practice or mock coaching sessions. So the program that I did, we actually had a partner for one of the semesters, and then we had a new partner for another semester. And we had regularly scheduled meetings where we practiced and went through different protocols based on that week's curriculum. It might be peer-to-peer one-on-ones, or it might look like mock coaching. Whatever that looks like, you want to make sure that this program practices and focuses on this mock coaching, again, to help build your confidence as you navigate the journey of becoming a health coach and getting your own clients. And lastly, looking for a program that has a certification. There are so many programs out there. Pretty much anybody can come up with something. I can design a health coaching program if I wanted to put in that time and investment in there, and I can create an entire protocol on it. The thing about that is it's not a certified program. You really want to make sure that it's validated and you have this certification to back the program, that it's aligned with the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaching. So let me share a few resources that are going to be really helpful to help you determine what programs are certified by the NBHWC. So this is a really good resource to see a comprehensive list of approved training programs. Most important thing to look at when you are deciding between what kind of coaching program is to see if it is connected to the National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. So when they're talking about approved training programs, they're meaning they are approved by the National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. When you scroll down, there is quite a comprehensive list of different organizations, facilities that offer their programming, and we'll go through a few of them. What's nice about this page is you can click on all the individual links. You can get an insight of what their specialties are, what they focus on, the cost, the length of the programming. What I'll show you right now is actually the programming that I did, which I am absolutely happy with. The only thing about it is that they are currently on pause. They are not accepting any new students. So I did the Adapt Health Coaching Training Program. And if you're familiar with KRIS, he has a podcast available. It's a very comprehensive, robust 12-month online certification program. It was really good. I'm very pleased with it. It was a pretty penny, but I will say it was absolutely worth every cent. And maybe I could do a separate episode on my experience and review of the programming. As you can see here, when you click on the individual ones, you get the information, their website, everything like that included. This is going to be a really handy resource to figure out which programs that you should look into. Another very popular program, one that I wasn't very much intrigued to go to, but a lot of people do go to, is IIN. So Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I would say this is going to be your very beginner programming. The absolute basics of understanding nutrition. The programming that I did was very much focused on functional health. We talked about SIBO, H. pylori, and all these different types of diets, where I don't believe this program really gets in the nitty-gritty of that. This is a very much foundational underlying program. I got my bachelor's degree in public health, so we covered a lot of this stuff. I know that this is a program that a lot of people do. The length is significantly less. I don't know what the cost is, but I'm guessing it's less than the one that I did. But again, if you are just trying to get in the door, get started, learning the fundamentals, this could be a really good program for you. I'd highly recommend searching through this, clicking on different links and seeing what catches your eye. If there's something that stands out a little bit more, they focus on something that is more aligned with you. I know Precision Nutrition is also a pretty popular coaching certification course. This is the bread and butter of coaching. This is something that has created so much value and support during my coaching journey, and that is a flow chart or programming or sequence for each session. So as you can see here, I have a lot of different flow charts depending on what part of the programming they're in. So I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek on one of them. So this is my regular ongoing session checklist. This is after they've completed the programming that I have set up for them. And this is just those regular check-ins of, hey, what'd you like to focus on today? So there's nothing specific as far as that we're working through or a particular agenda, only what they are bringing to the table. What you can see here, I blacked out some of the stuff, especially if you are working virtually. It's really nice because you can have this as a resource on your computer as you're engaging with the client so that you know you can always peek back to this and have a reference. So you're not thinking about what you should ask next. You're actually paying attention attention to the client. This has been something that has created so much value in my coaching sessions. It goes through the regular prep of how I can come best prepared to the session. It goes through the flow of engaging, focusing, evoking, and planning with the session close. This is just one of the checklists that I have. I have checklists for each part of my programming, but it's so essential to make sure you have a solid flow through the session, that you are helping the client clarify what they're struggling with and get to an actual resolution, and not just this kind of talk therapy through it. So a little bonus item, as you've already finished your foundational items for building a successful health coaching business, something you might want to consider is creating a website. It is absolutely not a necessity, but it is something that's nice that you can direct potential clients to see either your portfolio, your services, a little about you, or what you offer, your background, and even have a page that includes your socials. So I personally love Wix.com. That's what I've used for a number of years. I believe there are free versions. Highly recommend just starting with that. And as you build your coaching platform, then expand and invest a little bit more money. But there's so many ways to start a business with little to no upfront costs. I'd recommend doing that and just building consistency before figuring out how to perfect it. This is Wix.com. This is my personal page. I've created this all on my own, but you can always hire people to help create it. As you can see, when I click on the preview tab, I have different pages. So about me, about my health coaching. This is the food blog. This is my health blog, resources, and a link for podcasts. In my resources, you can click on individual ones. There's just an endless amount of options that you can include in here. And a lot of potential clients, I'll send them to this tab about health coaching and specifically about my services, so they can get a better understanding and clarification on what I offer. Another bonus of using Wix.com is that you can have these little pop-ins right here. So I've made an ebook on helping you go from perfectionism to progress. So progress over perfect. And what I did is I had this automated pop-up that comes up where you can download the ebook for free right away. So there's so many benefits of having a website, but again, you do not need to have anything like this for quite some time.
That's a real quick no. That's a hard pass.
That's just a quick example of an Instagram reel that I used to dive a little bit deeper into a health coaching topic. Now, you'll want to stay tuned for part 2 on becoming a health coach, because today was focused on the foundation and the essentials. Part 2 is where we're going to dive deeper into some fun tips and tricks on how to become a more successful health coach, like marketing, what to charge, how to show up for your sessions, and even how to get beta clients and how to begin the process of working through them. Even little things like creating a welcome kit for your clients is going to be a fantastic addition to welcome them in and get them excited for the coaching program. All right, guys, that about wraps it up for this video on the essentials on how to become a health coach. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to dive into more tips and tricks on how to become a successful health coach, and not necessarily the necessities, but things that are nice to have. Just to quickly round out everything that we talked about, you really want to make sure you start out with a firm foundation with education. And I highly recommend looking into a program that has a coaching certification. There's so many available out there. Please look at the show notes where I link that list of the comprehensive list of programs available. There's also books that you can dive into. There's tons available, and they are incredible resources that are beneficial to prepare you for becoming a health coach, but even while you're in the middle of your practice, they're always very beneficial. Also, you want to make sure when you are looking for a health coach to focus on a few things, and making sure that they include or talk about niching, that they really discuss session flow or even programming. And you also want to make sure that there's a peer-to-peer or even a mock coaching session. And lastly, you want to make sure that it has some sort of certification that just validates that the program is authentic and real, and they have good instructors and educators that are facilitating and teaching you the necessary tools. So again, I hope this was helpful. I hope it provided value. If you are interested in receiving those coaching checklists that I have, please write a comment in the show notes below, and I'll see if I can link that or find a way to get that over to you guys. All right, I hope this was helpful. Until next time, guys, take care.